Ukraine and its allies say Russia's February invasion was a crime of aggression, defined by United Nations statute as the illegal use of force against another state. The European Union said Wednesday Moscow must be held accountable.
And this is why, while continuing to support the International Criminal Court, we are proposing to set up a specialized court backed by the United Nations to investigate and prosecute Russia's crime of aggression.
The International Criminal Court is already investigating alleged Russian war crimes, including the arbitrary detention and killing of civilians, torture, rape, and the targeting of Ukraine's civilian infrastructure. But Russia is not a signatory to the court, notes lawyer Frank Ledwidge.
Well, the International Criminal Court has a number of jurisdictional problems facing it, particularly concerning the crime of aggression.
The first step to setting up a special tribunal would be presenting a resolution to the UN Security Council.
So that's going to be vetoed by Russia and probably China as well. So it will then go to the General Assembly. The General Assembly will vote on it. They will probably gain a majority, and therefore the new court, which would be called an ad hoc tribunal, will have UN backing.
Gathering evidence would be complex and would take time.
They will have to establish the evidence chain between Putin and his military forces. That should be fairly easy. For Putin's subordinates involved in executing this crime or committing this crime of aggression, there will also need to be probably secret evidence gained, and therefore agreements for that evidence to be produced to the court, to the prosecutor, as happened in Yugoslavia.
Russia insisted any tribunal to investigate its invasion of Ukraine would lack legitimacy. Ledwidge helped gather evidence in the former Yugoslavia for the prosecution of former President Slobodan Milosevic in 2001 for crimes against humanity.
Of course, the immediate response will be affected amusement or derision from the Russian dictator. The same happened with Milosevic. The smiles were wiped quickly off Milosevic's face and his gang 2 years later when his government collapsed, or a year later when his government collapsed, and he eventually ended up in The Hague himself. Is that going to happen with Putin? Well, we'll see.
The last time a court was set up to investigate the crime of aggression was in 1945 during the Nuremberg trials at the end of World War II. Proponents of a tribunal say it is now vital that Russia is held accountable. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.